Commander Alex Murphy stood tall as he walked down the gleaming corridor of the Galactic Council space station. His black uniform with the blue Earth patch stood out among the colorful robes of the alien representatives. At his side walked Max, his German shepherd with a shiny coat and alert eyes. Max wore a special spacesuit designed for Earth animals, complete with the same blue Earth patch on its side. "Stay close, buddy," Alex whispered, feeling the familiar comfort of his companion. Max had been with him for 6 years, through tough missions and lonely nights in space. Having his dog with him on this historic day felt right. Today was important. After 50 years of contact with alien life, Earth was finally getting a chance to join the Galactic Council. 233 species from across the galaxy were part of this group. They made rules about trade, settled fights between planets, and shared knowledge. Earth wanted in. The large doors to the council chamber slid open. The room was huge, with seats rising in circles like a bowl. Strange smells filled the air, some sweet, some sharp, some that made no sense to a human nose. Max sniffed eagerly, but stayed right at Alex's heel, exactly as he had been trained. "The representative from Earth may approach," announced a tall, thin alien with blue skin that seemed to glow from within. This was Max Teipel, the council chair from the Arcturian Confederation. Alex walked to the center of the room where a small platform rose from the floor. Max followed, sitting perfectly at attention when Alex stopped. Alex could feel hundreds of eyes watching them, some with multiple pupils, some that glowed, some that blinked sideways. "Esteemed council members," Alex began, his voice steady. "Earth thanks you for this chance to—" "What is that creature doing in these chambers?" The harsh voice cut through Alex's words like a knife. Alex turned to see High Counselor Zakathar rising from his seat. The Vespid representative looked somewhat like a human-sized wasp standing on 2 legs, with hard plates covering his body and large, faceted eyes that reflected the light in strange patterns. "This is Max, my companion animal," Alex explained, calmly. "On Earth, we often form bonds with other species. These companions are called pets." A murmur ran through the chamber. Many aliens looked confused or disgusted. "Pets? You bring lesser beings to serve you?" asked a small, round alien with green fur. "Not to serve. To share our lives with," Alex said. "Humans and dogs have lived together for thousands of years. They help us hunt, protect our homes, and give us friendship." "Friendship with a lesser being? Absurd." Zakathar buzzed, his wings vibrating slightly in agitation. Alex kept his face neutral, though he felt a flash of anger. Different species develop differently. On Earth, we evolved alongside many animals. Dogs chose to join with humans long ago. We protect each other. As if understanding the conversation, Max sat even straighter, his ears perked forward. "It makes noise," Zakathar said when Max gave a small whine. "Remove this creature at once." "With respect, Counselor," Alex said firmly. "Max is part of Earth's delegation. He represents the unique relationship humans have with Earth animals." Max Teipel raised a long, slender hand. "This is unusual, but we should respect cultural differences." The session continued. Alex explained Earth's history, technology, and what humans could offer the Council. Throughout it all, Max sat quietly at his side. Many alien representatives seemed interested, asking questions about Earth's diverse ecosystems and species. 2 hours later, during a heated debate about Earth's readiness to join the Council, Max's ears perked up. He sensed something, perhaps, a smell or sound beyond human perception. He gave a single, sharp bark. The chamber went silent. "That's enough." Zakathar buzzed loudly, rising again. "I will not tolerate this beast any longer. He's just—" Alex began. "Silence." The Vespid counselor shouted. "We are deciding the fate of your entire planet, and you bring an untamed animal into these sacred chambers?" "Max is not untamed," Alex said, keeping his voice level but firm. "He's highly trained and—" Max barked again, this time at Zakathar, directly. Something about the Vespid was triggering his protective instincts. Zakatar's wings buzzed in fury. "Guards, Remove this nuisance immediately. Two tall, thin aliens with purple skin moved toward Alex and Max. Wait, Alex said, holding up his hand. If Max is bothering the council, we can step outside for a moment. No need, Zakthar said coldly. He made a sharp gesture to his personal security detail, 3 Vespid warriors who stood nearby. One of them raised a small silver device. Stop, Alex shouted, moving to shield Max. What are you doing? But he was too late. A beam of pale blue light shot from the device, hitting Max directly. There was no sound, no yelp, no whimper. In an instant, Max simply disappeared. A small pile of ash fell to the floor where the loyal dog had been sitting seconds before. A horrible silence filled the council chamber. Alex stared at the small pile of ash, unable to process what had just happened. His hands shook. His chest felt tight. Max was gone. Just like that. Vaporized because he barked twice. Problem solved, Zikathar said with a dismissive wave of his hand. Now we can continue without interruption. Alex knelt slowly and touched the ash with trembling fingers. 6 years of loyalty and love reduced to dust because an alien found his barking annoying. When he looked up, his eyes were hard as steel. The room temperature seemed to drop as he stood. Even alien species that couldn't read human expressions sensed the dangerous shift. Commander Murphy? Mox Typel asked cautiously. We regret this unfortunate incident. Do you? Alex asked, quietly. His voice was calm, but something in it made several council members shift uncomfortably in their seats. This was not authorized, Mox Typel said quickly. High Counselor Zakthar acted without... It was a simple animal, Zakthar interrupted. Easily replaced, I'm sure. Alex turned slowly to face the Vespid, his face a perfect mask of control. You have no idea what you've just done. On Earth, our pets are family. He looked around the chamber, meeting the gaze of as many council members as he could. Remember this moment. Remember what happened here today. Because Earth will not forget. Without waiting for permission, Alex turned and walked out of the council chamber. His footsteps echoed in the silence, somehow sounding like a promise. Back on Earth, Dr. Olivia Garcia was working late in her laboratory when her communication device buzzed. The message was brief, but set her heart racing. Code Crimson. Council. Incident. Max down. Prepare the program. Olivia sat back in her chair, her mind already racing through the implications and what would need to be done. Computer, send alert to all program directors, she said, her voice steady despite her shock. Authorization Garcia Alpha 93. Begin protocol Tooth and Claw. Across the planet, in hidden facilities and remote training centers, lights began to flash. The signals went out to thousands of handlers and trainers. Earth was about to show the galaxy what happened when you harmed one of their own. 1 month after the incident, Dr. Olivia Garcia stood in a vast underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains. The space was filled with rows of special pods, each designed to safely transport an animal through space. Workers moved quickly around her, checking systems and preparing for the mission ahead. Olivia looked down at the tablet in her hand. The list of animals was long. 50,000 wolves, 30,000 bears of various species, 45,000 big cats including lions and tigers, 20,000 birds of prey, 15,000 sharks, 10,000 crocodiles, and hundreds of thousands of other predators from Earth. Each animal had been trained through the Interspecies Intelligence Program, a secret project that had been running for decades. Dr. Garcia, the president is on line 1, said her assistant, handing her a secure phone. Dr. Garcia speaking, she answered, her voice steady despite the pressure she felt. Doctor, the Security Council has approved your plan, said the president. Operation Alpha Pack is now officially a go. The council needs to understand what they've done. Yes, Madam President. The animals are ready, and our handlers are prepared. We'll show the galaxy what humanity's relationship with Earth's predators really means. After ending the call, Olivia walked to another section of the facility, where Lieutenant Ryan Blackwell was briefing his team. Ryan was a tall man with short brown hair, and eyes that seemed to miss nothing. Before joining the interspecies program, he had been in Special Forces, known for his calm under pressure. Around him stood 200 men and women in dark blue uniforms. Each wore a patch showing a human hand next to an animal paw. These were the best animal handlers on Earth, people who could communicate with their animal partners almost without words. "Listen up," Ryan said to the group. "In 3 days, we leave for Centauri Prime with the largest collection of Earth predators ever assembled off-planet. This isn't a war party, but it is a show of force." He pointed to a large screen showing the Galactic Council chamber. "These aliens think our animals are just dumb beasts we keep for our amusement. They killed Commander Murphy's dog without a second thought. Our job is to show them how wrong they are." A woman raised her hand. "Sir, what exactly are we allowed to do once we're there?" "Good question, Agent Kim. We are going as an official Earth delegation. That means we follow diplomatic rules. No actual attacks unless in self-defense. But we will show them what our partners can do." Ryan walked over to a large cage where a massive gray wolf watched him with intelligent eyes. He placed his hand on the scanner next to the cage, and the door slid open. The wolf, almost as tall as Ryan's waist, stepped out calmly and sat beside him. "This is Shadow," Ryan said, resting his hand on the wolf's head. "Like all the animals in the program, he understands complex commands and can make decisions on his own. The aliens need to see this. They need to understand that on Earth, we don't just tame our predators, we partner with them." 3 days later, a fleet of 20 massive Earth ships approached Centauri Prime, the space station that served as the headquarters for the Galactic Council. Each ship was specially designed to carry the animals safely through space. The lead ship, the USS Guardian, carried the command team and the diplomatic representatives. On the bridge of the USS Guardian, Commander Alex Murphy stood in a fresh uniform, his face showing little emotion. The past month had been hard. At night, he still reached down expecting to feel Max's fur under his fingers. During the day, he focused on the mission, pushing his grief into a small box to deal with later. "Commander, we're being hailed by Centauri Control," said the communications officer. "Put them through," Alex replied. A blue-skinned Arcturian appeared on the main screen. "Earth vessels, this is Centauri Prime Control. Your visit is unexpected. Please state your purpose." "This is Commander Murphy of Earth. We are bringing a special cultural delegation to the Galactic Council. We have official clearance from Council Chair Mox Taple." The Arcturian looked confused. "Cultural delegation? Your ships are registering unusual life-form readings." "Yes," Alex said with a small smile that didn't reach his eyes. "We've brought some friends from home. Earth is famous for its biodiversity. The Council seemed interested in our relationship with other Earth species, so we thought we'd provide a more complete picture." After a pause, the Arcturian nodded. "You are cleared to dock at bays 12 through 31. Council representatives will meet you there." As the communication ended, Chief Ambassador Samantha Williams joined Alex on the bridge. She was a tall woman with dark skin and gray hair cut short. For 30 years, she had represented Earth in space, building relationships with alien species. "Are you ready for this, Commander?" she asked quietly. "As ready as I'll ever be," Alex replied. "Do you think they understand what's coming?" Samantha shook her head. "Not a chance. They've never seen anything like what we're about to show them." 2 hours later, the Earth ships docked at Centauri Prime. A group of Council representatives, including Mox Typel and several other high-ranking officials, waited in the massive docking bay. Their expressions showed curiosity and some concern about the number of ships. Ambassador Williams led the Earth delegation out to meet them. Behind her walked Alex, Ryan, Olivia, and 50 other humans in neat lines. They stopped 10 meters from the aliens. "Council Chair Mox Typel," Ambassador Williams said formally. "Earth thanks you for receiving our delegation." "We are honored," Mox Typel replied, his eyes moving over the humans with curiosity. "Though I must admit, we were surprised by your request, especially after the unfortunate incident at the last council meeting." "Yes," Samantha said, her voice suddenly cold. "The incident. That's why we're here. You killed one of our companions. Now you will meet the rest of our family." She turned and made a simple hand gesture. Ryan stepped forward and pressed a button on his wrist device. The loading bay doors on all 20 ships began to open. At first there was silence. Then came sounds that had never before been heard on Centauri Prime. Growls, howls, roars, and screeches from Earth's most dangerous predators. The alien representatives stepped back in alarm as the first animals appeared. From one ship came wolves moving in perfect formation beside their handlers. From another came bears, brown bears, black bears, polar bears, each walking calmly with a human partner. Lions, tigers, and panthers emerged from a third ship, their powerful muscles rippling under their fur. "What is the meaning of this?" gasped a Vespid representative, though it wasn't Zakthar. Samantha smiled coolly. "This is Earth's response. You thought we were weak because we care for animals. You're about to learn how wrong you were." The large meeting room of Centauri Prime fell silent as High Counselor Zakthar entered. The Vespid stopped suddenly when he saw what was waiting for him. Sitting calmly on either side of the door were two massive gray wolves. They watched him with intelligent eyes but made no move toward him. "What is the meaning of this?" Zakthar demanded, his wings buzzing with agitation. Ambassador Samantha Williams smiled from her seat at the large round table. "These are just part of Earth's security detail. Please join us." Around the table sat 5 other council members, including Mox Tipple. They looked uncomfortable but were trying to hide it. As Zakthar took his seat, he noticed more Earth animals positioned around the room. A golden eagle perched on a stand in the corner. A large mountain lion lay near another door, grooming its paws as if it were in the wild and not on a space station. "This is highly irregular," Zakthar said. "These creatures have no place in Council headquarters." "We disagree," Samantha said calmly. "After what happened to Commander Murphy's companion, we felt it was important for the Council to better understand Earth's relationship with our fellow species." Mox Tipal raised a long, thin hand. "Perhaps it would help if you explained this relationship. Many species in the galaxy have animals on their home planets, but none bring them to diplomatic meetings." Dr. Olivia Garcia stepped forward. She had been standing quietly behind Ambassador Williams. "On Earth, we evolved alongside these creatures. They shaped us, and eventually we learned to work with them." She tapped a button on her wrist device, and a hologram appeared in the center of the table. It showed early humans hunting alongside wolves. Thousands of years ago, wolves and humans began to hunt together. The wolves had better senses and speed. The humans had tools and planning. Together, they were more successful than either alone. Virain. Hologram changed to show a timeline of animal domestication on Earth. Over thousands of years, this partnership spread to other animals. Dogs came from wolves. We partnered with horses for transportation. Birds of prey helped us hunt. Even big cats and bears can form bonds with humans under the right conditions. Zakthar buzzed his wings in dismissal. "Simple domestication is not unique to Earth. Many species keep work animals or food sources." Olivia smiled patiently. "What's unique about Earth is that we didn't just domesticate our animals, we formed relationships with them. Some for work, yes, but many simply for companionship." Ryan Blackwell, standing near the wolves, gave a small hand signal. One of the wolves stood and walked to his side, pressing against his leg in a show of affection. "This is Storm," Ryan explained. "His great-grandparents were wild wolves, but through our breeding and training programs he understands over 300 verbal commands and can make complex decisions on his own." "Impossible," muttered a small, round alien with green fur. "Animals cannot understand language at that level." Ryan smiled. "Storm, find the one who smells afraid and bring me their pen." The wolf moved silently around the table. He stopped behind the green alien, who squeaked in fear. With gentle teeth, Storm took a writing device from the table and carried it back to Ryan. The council members stared in shock. "The animal understood you," Mox Tipple said with wonder. "Of course he did," Ryan replied. "And he's just one of 800,000 animals we've brought with us." Meanwhile, In another part of the station, Commander Alex Murphy walked through the main public area. The space was filled with aliens of all kinds, many backing away in shock as they saw what accompanied Alex. Beside him walked a young wolf-dog hybrid named Luna, her coat silver-gray like moonlight. Though smaller than Max she had the same alert eyes and loyal demeanor. Around them, other Earth handlers moved through the crowd with their animal partners, hawks perched on arms, smaller wildcats padding silently beside them, even a young bear ambling along behind its handler. "Commander Murphy," called a voice. Alex turned to see a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin approaching. It was Council Member Trelzia from the Lyran Confederation, known for her interest in other cultures. "Council Member," Alex acknowledged with a polite nod. Luna sat at his feet, watching the alien carefully. "I wish to express my personal regret about what happened to your companion," Trelzia said quietly. "Many of us on the council were horrified by his Cathar's actions." Alex's face softened slightly. "Thank you. Max was important to me." Trelzia looked down at Luna. "And this one? She resembles your previous companion." "This is Luna. She's helping me move forward." Alex's hand rested lightly on Luna's head. "In our culture, the bond between human and animal is special. When Max was killed, it wasn't just the death of an animal, it was the breaking of a sacred trust." Trelzia nodded slowly. "I think I'm beginning to understand. But tell me, Commander, why bring so many predators to Centauri Prime? Some see it as a threat." Alex met her gaze steadily. "It's not a threat, it's a demonstration of who we are. Humans may look soft compared to some species in the galaxy, but we come from a harsh world. We survived and thrived by forming bonds with the predators around us, rather than just fighting them." In the station's massive central garden, Kevin Martinez supervised as his team released various aquatic creatures into the large pond. Special environmental fields kept the water at Earth-normal conditions while still allowing visitors to view the animals. A group of curious aliens watched from a safe distance as otters played in the water, diving and surfacing with happy squeaks. In deeper sections, larger shapes moved. Dolphins and small sharks carefully separated by invisible barriers. "Are these also predators from your world?" asked an alien child, its 6 eyes wide with wonder. Kevin smiled and knelt to the child's level. "Yes, they are. The dolphins are very smart. They can understand many human words and have their own language of clicks and whistles." As if on cue, a dolphin surfaced nearby, making a series of sounds. Kevin whistled back, and the dolphin nodded its head before diving again. "You speak to them?" the child's parent asked in surprise. "In a simple way, yes," Kevin explained. "Humans have learned to communicate with many Earth species. Not perfectly, but enough to work together." Back in the council chamber, High Counselor Zukathar was losing patience. For 3 hours he had listened to the humans explain their relationship with Earth animals. "Enough of this," he finally snapped. "You've made your point. Earth has unusual customs regarding animals, but bringing dangerous predators to Centauri Prime crosses the line." As Zukathar stood in anger, the 2 wolves by the door rose to their feet. They made no sound, but their eyes fixed on the Vespid with unnerving focus. Ambassador Williams remained perfectly calm. "The animals are all under control, Counselor. They will not harm anyone unless attacked first. Just like Max didn't harm anyone before he was killed." Zorgathar's wings buzzed in agitation. "Are you threatening me, Ambassador?" "Not at all," Samantha replied with a cold smile. "I'm simply helping you understand Earth a little better. We come from a planet of predators, Counselor. We survived by making them our allies rather than our enemies. It would be wise to remember that." As the meeting continued, word spread throughout Centauri Prime. Aliens crowded observation decks to watch Earth handlers working with their animal partners in designated areas. Videos of wolves following complex commands and eagles delivering messages spread across the station's communication network. For the first time, the galaxy was seeing humans as they truly were, not just another intelligent species, but one that had done something unique. They had turned their planet's most dangerous killers into their most loyal friends. A week had passed since the Earth delegation arrived at Centauri Prime. The massive space station had transformed in that time. Earth animals could be seen in every section, always with their human handlers nearby. The aliens were slowly getting used to seeing wolves patrol the corridors and eagles soar through the larger open spaces. In the main training arena, Ryan Blackwell stood in the center of a large circle. Around him, 2,000 aliens from different worlds watched from the UA stands. Some leaned forward with interest, others kept their distance, clearly nervous. "Today we'll demonstrate how Earth predators work with humans," Ryan announced, his voice carried by the arena's sound system. For thousands of years, these partnerships helped humans survive on a planet filled with dangers. At a signal from Ryan, 10 handlers entered the arena. With each handler came a different Earth predator: wolves, a mountain lion, a black bear, a tiger, an eagle, a falcon, a python, a crocodile, a shark in a hovering water tank, and a small pack of hunting dogs. The handlers spread out in a line, their animals sitting or standing calmly beside them. "First, basic commands," Ryan said. He nodded to the handlers, who each gave different signals to their animals. As one, all the animals changed positions. The wolves and dogs lay down. The birds spread their wings. The big cats sat on their haunches. The bear stood on its hind legs. The python curled into a perfect circle. The shark swam in a figure-8 pattern. The crocodile opened and closed its massive jaws. A murmur of surprise ran through the alien audience. "Now, problem solving," Ryan continued. Assistants brought out large boxes with different puzzles built into them. Each box contained food, but getting to it required solving the puzzle. The handler stepped back, and the animals went to work. The wolves used their paws and teeth to pull levers and push buttons. The bear figured out how to turn a wheel that opened a compartment. The tiger used its claws with surprising gentleness to move small pieces into place. Even the shark used its nose to push a floating ball through a maze. Within minutes, all the animals had solved their puzzles and earned their rewards. "Impressive," said Mox Tipple, who sat in a special box with other council members. "But these seem like trained behaviors, not true intelligence." Ryan smiled. "Let's try something more complex." The arena floor changed. Walls rose up, creating a maze. Colored flags appeared at different points. "Our animals haven't seen this maze before," Ryan explained. "Watch what happens when we give them a goal." The handlers spoke quietly to their animals, sometimes showing them a colored object. One by one, the animals entered the maze. The audience watched on large screens as the predators navigated the twisting paths, clearly seeking specific targets. The wolves moved as a coordinated pack, checking paths and doubling back when needed. The bear remembered a path it had seen earlier and returned to it. The big cats leaped over some walls to create shortcuts. Each animal showed not just training, but actual problem-solving abilities. "They're thinking," gasped a small alien with purple skin. "Actually thinking about the puzzle." "Of course they are," Ryan said. "Earth animals aren't mindless creatures. They have their own form of intelligence. Humans didn't conquer our predators. We partnered with them." In another part of the station, Dr. Olivia Garcia led a group of alien scientists through one of the Earth ships. This vessel had been converted into living space for some of the larger ocean predators. They stopped at a massive tank where 3 orcas swam. The black and white creatures moved with grace despite their enormous size. "These are orcas, also known as killer whales," Olivia explained. "They're the largest members of the dolphin family and among the smartest animals on Earth." One of the alien scientists, a tall being with gills along its neck, studied the orcas with interest. "How dangerous are they?" "In the wild, they're apex predators," Olivia said. "They hunt in packs and can take down whales much larger than themselves. Nothing hunts them." The scientist stepped back slightly. "And you keep them as pets?" Olivia smiled and shook her head. "Not pets, partners. These 3 were born in human care. They work with us on ocean research, finding and tracking animal populations, and sometimes search and rescue operations." She pressed a button on a nearby panel. A human in a wetsuit appeared on a platform above the tank. "This is Sam Baker, the lead trainer for our marine mammals," Olivia said. Sam waved at the group, then turned his attention to the orcas. He made a series of hand signals. The three massive creatures lined up in the water, watching him intently. With a quick motion of his hand, Sam dove into the tank. The aliens gasped, expecting the worst, but the orcas swam gently around him, taking turns carrying him on their backs and pushing him through the water. After a few minutes, Sam climbed out of the tank and joined the group, drying himself with a towel. "What the aliens don't understand," he said to Olivia, though loud enough for all to hear, "is that I'm not controlling those orcas. We're working together. They could kill me in seconds if they wanted to, but they choose not to." Meanwhile, Counselor Zakhtar was having a very uncomfortable week. Wherever he went on the station, Earth predators seemed to appear. 2 wolves always sat outside his quarters. A falcon often perched nearby when he ate. A sleek black panther had taken to lounging in the corridor outside his office. None of the animals ever approached him or made threatening moves. They simply watched. Their eyes followed him constantly, making it impossible to forget their presence. Zakhtar finally requested a private meeting with Ambassador Williams. They met in a small conference room. As always, 2 wolves came with her, settling by the door. "This harassment must stop," Zakhtar demanded as soon as the door closed. "Harassment?" Samantha asked, her voice innocent. "I don't understand. Your animals are everywhere I go. They watch me constantly." "They're curious creatures," she replied calmly, "and they have excellent memories. They know who you are." Zakhtar's wings buzzed with anger. "Are you threatening me, Ambassador?" "Not at all. I'm simply telling you about Earth animals. They remember those who harm their pack." Samantha's smile was cold. "Commander Murphy's dog was part of our pack. It was one insignificant animal," Zakhtar said, his voice rising. "Why does your entire species care so much about one creature?" "Because that's who we are," Samantha said simply. "On Earth, loyalty matters. Max was loyal to Commander Murphy. Now, we're showing the same loyalty to Max's memory." She stood, signaling the end of the meeting. "The Earth delegation will be here for 1 more week, Counselor. I suggest you use that time to reconsider how you view other species, both human and animal." As Zakhtar left, he passed Commander Murphy in the hallway. The human was walking, with his new wolf dog, Luna. For a brief moment, their eyes met. The Vespid looked away first, something very much like fear in his posture. Throughout Centauri Prime, the council members were beginning to understand an important truth about humans. On their world, being at the top of the food chain hadn't made them cruel or dominant. Instead, it had taught them respect for the predators they lived alongside, and that made them more dangerous than anyone had realized. On the final day of the Earth delegation's visit to Centauri Prime, Commander Alex Murphy requested a special meeting with the full Galactic Council. The Grand Council chamber was packed. All 233 member species had representatives present. Even species that rarely attended meetings had sent someone to witness this historic moment. Alex entered the chamber alone, except for Luna walking beside him. The wolf dog's silver-gray coat gleamed under the lights. She moved with quiet, Grace staying close to Alex's leg. Together they walked to the center of the room and stopped on the speaking platform. "Esteemed council members," Alex began, his voice clear and strong. 2 weeks ago I came here with my companion Max. He was killed in this very chamber because his bark annoyed one of you. High Counselor Zakhtar shifted uncomfortably in his seat but said nothing. "Since then," Alex continued, "Earth has shown you something about ourselves that you didn't understand before. We've brought our partners, Earth's apex predators, to demonstrate who we really are." He looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes of as many alien representatives as he could. Humans didn't become the dominant species on Earth by being the strongest or the fastest or having the sharpest teeth. We survived because we learned to work with other species instead of just fighting them. Alex reached down to rest his hand on Luna's head. She leaned against his leg, eyes alert and watching the room. "Some of you have asked why we care so much about animals that could easily kill us. The answer is simple. because they chose not to. The chamber was completely silent now, every alien focused on the human and his wolf-dog companion. Thousands of years ago, wolves could have wiped out human settlements. They were stronger and more numerous. But some wolves chose to approach our fires instead. They shared their hunting skills, their keen senses, their strength. In return, we shared our food, our shelters, our ability to plan. Luna looked up at Alex as if understanding she was part of this story. Over centuries, this partnership spread to other animals. What makes humans different isn't that we conquered our world. It's that we formed alliances with its most dangerous inhabitants. Dr. Olivia Garcia and Lieutenant Ryan Blackwell entered the chamber, joining Alex on the platform. Behind them came Kevin Martinez and a dozen other handlers, each with their animal partners. For the past 2 weeks, Olivia said, taking over from Alex, we've shown you how Earth's predators work with humans. You've seen their intelligence, their problem-solving abilities, and their loyalty. Ryan stepped forward. What you haven't fully understood is that humans are also predators. We may look soft compared to some species in this room, but we evolved as hunters and survivors on a dangerous world. Ambassador Samantha Williams entered last, moving to stand beside Alex. The Earth delegation came here to deliver a message that we hope is now clear. Humans value our bonds with other species. We protect those in our care, and we don't forget those who harm our companions. Mox Tipple, the council chair, rose from his seat. The tall Arcturian's blue skin seemed paler than usual. Ambassador Williams, the council has been deeply educated by your delegation. I believe I speak for most when I say we had no idea of the complexity of Earth's interspecies relationships. He turned to face the entire chamber. It appears we have much to learn from Earth. Their approach to other species on their planet is unlike anything we've seen before. High Counselor Zikthar finally spoke up, his voice less harsh than usual. What exactly does Earth want from this council? An apology? Compensation for the lost animal? Alex stiffened, but Luna pressed against his leg as if calming him. He took a breath before speaking. What happened can't be undone, but going forward, Earth requests full membership in the Galactic Council, with one important condition. Our animal partners must be recognized as part of our delegation and treated with respect. Murmurs spread through the chamber as the council members discussed this unusual request. Mox Tipple raised his hands for silence. This is unprecedented. No other species brings non-sentient beings to council meetings. With respect, Olivia said, the definition of sentient varies widely. Our animals may not build spaceships, but they feel, they think, they solve problems, and they form deep bonds. On Earth, that counts for something. The council discussion continued for hours. Finally, Mox Tipple called for a vote. One by one, the representatives indicated their decision. When the final vote was tallied, Earth had been accepted as a full council member with special accommodations for their animal representatives. After the meeting, Alex stood in a quiet observation deck, looking out at the stars. Luna sat beside him, her warm presence comforting. Ambassador Williams joined them, a small smile on her face. It worked, she said quietly. Earth is now a recognized member of the galactic community, animals and all. Alex nodded, but didn't smile. And Max? His death won't be forgotten, Samantha assured him. The council has agreed to create a special memorial here on Centauri Prime, the first of its kind for a non-human from any world. Alex knelt down to look Luna in the eyes. Hear that, girl? Max made history. Luna licked his face once, her eyes somehow understanding. Alex felt some of his grief finally begin to ease. In the following days, most of the Earth delegation prepared to return home. The giant transport ships were loaded again with their precious cargo of Earth's apex predators. But not all would be leaving. A small team would remain on Centauri Prime as Earth's permanent embassy staff. Lieutenant Ryan Blackwell would lead the security detail, with 20 handlers and 40 animals, including wolves, eagles, and a young panther. Their presence would ensure that the council never forgot the lesson they had learned. On the day of departure, High Counselor Zuckthar approached Alex as he was preparing to board the USS Guardian. "Commander Murphy," the Vespid said, his voice unusually subdued. "I wish to express regret for my actions regarding your companion." Alex studied the alien for a moment. "Do you understand now? Do you see why it mattered so much?" Zuthar's wings gave a small flutter. "I begin to. On my world, we evolved from hive insects. The concept of bonding with a predator was foreign to me. But I have been watching your people with their animals. There is something there I did not comprehend before." Alex nodded slowly. "That's a start." As the Earth ships pulled away from Centauri Prime, the galaxy had changed in a fundamental way. The Council had encountered many species over thousands of years, warriors and scholars, traders and artists, but never before had they met beings who turned their planet's most dangerous predators into their most loyal friends. Across the station, in the newly created memorial garden, a small statue stood on a pedestal. It showed a German shepherd, alert and proud. The plaque beneath it read simply, "Max, beloved companion of Earth. He helped us show the galaxy who we really are." And in the corridors of power throughout the galaxy, one thing became abundantly clear. Humans might look harmless, but they came from a world of predators, and they had made those predators their family. It was not a species to be taken lightly.